We don't hate you, Go Nisaka. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my thoughts and impressions regarding the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS, episode 108, Indomitable Spirit, and I gotta be honest with you guys, so far, this episode is my favorite episode of Season 3. We had a very impactful moment between I and Go at the end of their duel, and we got something very unexpected at the end of the episode. We got our first real-world duel in VRAINS. It took us 3 seasons to get it, but we finally got it, and it was very unexpected, well, at least for me anyway, because I avoid the cast list and episode summaries. But anyway, at risk of further rambling, we got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. So the episode begins where we left off last week with a recap of Ghost Girl and Blood Shepherd's defeat and the beginning of I and Go's duel. And then we watch the duel continue with Go's comeback. A continuous summon brings back Master Ogre and Link 4, the Power Load Ogres. So Go manages to bring back and summon a new Link 4 monster. So he's got 2 Link 4 monsters, a comeback that I is very impressed by, and Go is able to knock I's life points down to 200, although it looked at first like Go was going to win the duel. Well, it turns out I had a face down card that Go destroyed via his card effect, and that card was I's Him. It's a trap card, and basically by banishing this card from his graveyard, I gains 800 life points, and I is able to survive the duel, or survive the attack rather, by 200 life points by the skin of his teeth, and he's decided that Go is too dangerous and he has to conclude this next turn. We then watch I make his big comeback move by using a new spell card. It's I Love Fusion. It's a quick play fusion spell, and I is able to use this to fusion summon using his Doshin, which is on his field, and Go's Master Ogre, which is on his field, and I is able to fusion summon Earth Golem at Ignister with a whopping 2,300 attack points. However, when all seems lost, because I is able to use its effect to double its attack points whenever it battles, Go, however, is not willing to go down without a fight. Go's drive and the children who are cheering him on back home and keep pushing him to get back up allow Go to push back until I uses Lingaribo's effect to return Eye Strike to I's hand. So now that Eye Strike is back in I's hand, if you guys remember, it is a quick play spell, and when I plays it, his monster's attack points become the same as the monster it battles, and Go will ultimately take the damage equal to the original monster's attack points. So this is the card that ultimately finishes Go off. That's right, everybody. Go loses the duel, but before I moves in for the finishing blow, I has one last word for Go Nisaka. I tells Go, I don't hate you. If anything, I would be like you. You can keep getting back up, but my friends can't. They're gone forever. So we really get a powerful emotional moment here from I, and even Go is able to sense this as I, with his sadness and his anger for his fallen Ignis comrades, moves in for the attack and ultimately finishes off Go Nisaka. And Go's defeat ultimately has Kusanagi prompt Playmaker, Soulburner, Revolver to finish their duels with the I copies, and they do so. Playmaker, of course, uses Cyber's Clock Dragon, Revolver uses Boral Sword Dragon, and Soulburner uses Violet Chimera to ultimately finish off these I copies and win their respective duels. And basically the I copies are like, you're strong, but we held you off long enough. And yeah, they go after I and Robapi that are going after Zaizen and Blue Maiden. However, when they get into this area, I and Robapi Robapi more than I, is a little bit confused because there's nobody there. And I is able to figure out what's really going on, and they ultimately take off before Soulburner, Revolver, and Playmaker arrive. And Soulburner's like, well, where did they go? And Revolver says, well, Revolver lets them in on the other big deception, his big deception and his big plan with Zaizen, that Zaizen and Blue Maiden were never there. They were never broadcasting from that location to begin with. Instead, they were broadcasting from an undisclosed location in the real world, out of reach by anybody, and thanks to Revolver's secret algorithm, they are cut off from the network as well. So nobody can invade unless they go there directly. And of course, where they were sent was a Soul Technology airplane took off about an hour before I's attack. And yeah, they took off in the airplane, and that's where they're broadcasting from. So there's no way to get to them. They're 12,000 meters above Den City. No way to get to them, or so they think. And we actually watch Ai, whose determination to get revenge and to go after Zyzen, he actually hijacks a fighter jet, and he actually attacks Sol Technologies aircraft by destroying the cargo bay door, and he's able to break into the aircraft. And before he can get to Zyzen and Blue Maiden, or Aoi, we actually see Zyzen's personal assistant there. We see her show up. She tries to stop him. I just basically is like, lights out, sorry. And then we see Pandor materialize, a full version of Pandor, much to Ai's discouragement. And Ai actually tries to convince Pandor peacefully, since they're both AIs, to work together. However, Revolver's program prevents Pandor from being interfered with by Ai. So unwilling to, or unable to rather, convince Pandor to team up with him, we see Ai basically scream out at Pandor, all right, fine, let's take this outside and settle this with a duel. And they actually go to the top of the plane, and we actually see the first real-world duel of VRAINS on top of an aircraft 12,000 meters above Den City, and it's going to be Ai and Pandor, and we actually see the beginning of their duel as we watch Ai begin with the same moves he's done before, but we end the duel before Pandor's move, and that's where the episode leaves off. So yeah, we got a lot in this episode. Like I said, a very impactful moment between Ai and Go Nisaka at the end of their duel. I really felt bad for Go. He really deserved the win. I thought he really would win, but you know, hey, I wasn't going to lose. Then, of course, we got the real-world duel, the first one of VRAINS. Really excited for that, and on top of an aircraft, you can't tell me that's a nod to the Battle City days. But with all of that being said, very powerful episode. I give this episode an 8 out of 10. It was a really good episode, a really strong conclusion. The only things I didn't like about it were the fact that, of course, Go lost, although I think he deserved the win, even though I knew deep down in my head they were not going to let him have it. And, of course, we also had a little bit of suspense there with the 3 duels against Ai with Soulburner, Playmaker, and Revolver. We really didn't get anything except these monsters that just magically appeared here out of nowhere. I get it, they're OP, but at the same time, it really irritates me whenever Yu-Gi-Oh does that, and it's just something that I can never overlook. So, yeah, with all that being said, though, very powerful episode, a lot of twists here. Like I said, strong episode, and before I start rambling again, let me know what you guys think about this episode. What were your thoughts? Just let me know in the comments section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. Alright everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye everybody.